Hello potatoes, it's Cato Potato and welcome back to another video. So if you guys didn't know, from September of 2021 to May of 2022, I worked at Starbucks. I was there for like 9 months. Pretty much could have had like a Starbucks baby. Fig is like you smell like what you used to smell like. A lot of burnt coffee and pastries. But yeah, I know that with the holiday season, Starbucks has their, crazy holiday drinks out, and it really got me to reminisce some of the times that I was working there and made all those drinks. So I just thought I'd make a Starbucks video. So yeah, let's just talk about it. So I worked as a barista, and I worked at the Midtown location in Atlanta, which was apparently the only Starbucks with a drive-thru in that area, which is insane to me. And so I guess that explains why we were so busy, because it was literally like one after the other, and it was absolutely hecticness. But yeah, I always worked the morning shift. I always worked the opening shift, let's say, scheduled from 5 a.m. to 10:45, because that is 5 hours and 45 minutes, which is just enough time to where they legally don't have to give me a 30-minute break. Because we love that. To be fair though, I did have another job right at 11, so it kind of worked out for me, but it was just always like, really? You guys are gonna give me a 30-minute break, aren't you? Okay, cool. So there are obviously a lot of different roles at Starbucks, and so for the bar, that's where you make all the drinks, and the ovens where you cook all the food. There's also cold bar, which is for all the cold drinks, like register, front, kind of all those different lingo. So you get trained on all of those, and you start off pretty much consistently as support for everyone in those roles, and then eventually, if you get good enough, you become part of being on ovens or bars or whatever. So I feel like I went from support for a little while, and then I caught on pretty quickly, and I ended up being mostly on ovens and bar. For us, because we did have a drive-thru, we had a drive-thru bar and a mobile bar. So drive-thru bar were all the drinks that obviously came through drive-thru. Mobile bar were all the drinks that were ordered on our mobile app or people who ordered in the cafe. Most of the time I was put on drive-thru bar because you had to be really, really fast. And in order to do that, you kind of have to have what they call a sense of urgency. And so I literally was just like, and like, you kind of have to have that like mindset whenever you're doing something that is timed. Yeah, I feel like I caught on pretty quickly, and I was named partner of the quarter, which is signified on this pin here that I had on my hat. I had a lot of pins on my hat, if you guys couldn't tell. Just a couple of like really cute ones. A little dinosaur with a cup of coffee saying coffee is fossil fuel, and then this is Bambi. This one you get as like a beginner when you're starting your training, because it's like a little bean sprout. This one is being a certified barista, and so I got certified. This one is for the 50-year anniversary for Starbucks. This one is a little Donald Duck as like a baby. This pin is for my pronouns. This one is a puffle from Club Penguin, and then this is obviously my partner of the quarter. Is Starbucks hard? It's a yes and a no. Definitely hard in the beginning, because obviously you're training, you're learning a lot of different things, especially Starbucks. I feel like it's a very good starting job. Like, obviously it's in food, you're in customer service, you're doing a lot of different roles, and so there's definitely something that could work for you if this is your first ever, job experience. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's not that hard. Because you're pretty much doing the same thing over and over. And being repetitive definitely gets you to learn a lot quicker. All the recipes are fairly easy. It's pretty much the same sequence, and we have these little cards if you ever forget. Just getting practice, getting used to it, and then you're pretty much on top of it. Also, Starbucks has really good pay. I feel like I started off at Starbucks at $14 an hour. I got a raise a couple months into $15 an hour. Right before I left, they also offered me a supervisor position, which would have been $19 an hour. I've heard just bits and pieces that they've now raised the minimum to $17 an hour. So Starbucks is definitely a lot better than other places. It's definitely higher than minimum wage, but it's still something that I personally don't think is livable. Let's get into the season, the holiday season. So obviously there are a lot of different holiday drinks, and I gotta say, like, when I was working there, the biggest issue we had around the holiday time was never having anything in stock. I feel like there are people who are definitely like, I have to have a sugar cookie almond milk latte. Like, I get it. But also, we as baristas have to try out every single drink. Or I don't know if it's like required, but I know for me personally, whenever I did have a break during my shift, and we were allowed one free drink, I would always try out the different holiday drinks, because if people ask, we need to tell them what it tastes like. And so if people have any questions or suggestions, we make it for them. And so there are a lot of times where people are like, I have no idea what to drink. Can you give me some pointers? And I will point it to them. And there was this one guy who was like, you're an angel. Like, this is the best drink I've ever had. And I was like, thank you. So, like, you dabble, you can make things work. And, for some of us, we make our own things. Like, we create like a completely different thing that's not even on the menu. We make it our own way. And if you're nice enough, we'll make it for you. Like, obviously there are going to be days where you can get your drink. On other days, unfortunately, we're going to be out. Be open to trying different things. Maybe you'll find a new favorite. They're generally also human and have really good taste. So, unless you're allergic to something. Like I'm allergic to peaches, and so I can't have the peach juice. And so I forgot what it's called, but it's like the peach green tea, I think. I can't drink that. And so I remember I was like, I would replace it with apple juice. So there you go. There's like alternatives to pretty much anything. One last point for the holidays is the gift of paying forward. The idea that you're in a drive-thru, you're paying for your order, and you have no idea what the person behind you ordered, but you pay for their order as well. And you don't know this person, this is a stranger, and during the holiday season, the season of gifting, you pay for someone else's order, which the idea is nice. I will say, I feel like initially when you hear about it, you're like, oh, that's a very, very nice thing for someone to do. And there will be times where someone will do that, and then it just keeps on going. It's a chain of people who end up paying for other people's orders, which is nice. It's obviously great. But here's the thing, and this is for me personally. I haven't ordered at Starbucks ever since I quit, but I feel like if I were to go back, this is my point of view on things, is that person who's behind you in the drive-thru came in through the drive-thru because they can order their drink. And, while it is a nice thing for you to do for them, they can pay for their own. And if they're the type to do the chain thing, they're paying for someone else's order. And so I feel like, obviously great if you have a little extra spending money, you want to buy someone else a drink. The people who come to Starbucks to order drinks aren't like on their last little hurrah. And if I were in a situation where someone paid for my drink before me, I would think it's nice, but I don't need it. I don't need someone else to pay for my drink. And that's not to say in like a pro-feminist kind of way. It's just like, just general, like it's okay. You don't have to pay for my drink. I understand that there are a lot of other things that are going on in people's lives. If you order like a drink and a food item, you're close to spending like $10. And so I'm just saying, you can keep your $10. Or better yet, I feel like you should tip it to the baristas. I personally think that if you can spend that extra like $10 for someone else, why not it be someone else who is actually making the drinks for you? Because at the end of the day, you're paying the company, you're not paying the employees. You know what baristas are making, and a lot of the times these are college students or people who are trying to get their life started. They're using that job in order to be the next pedestal for their next step in life. And I feel like if anything, they're the people who need a little bit more love and a little bit more appreciation during the holidays. And so, yeah, that's just my thoughts. So if you have the opportunity to pay it forward to the people who are making your food, making your drinks. And yeah. You agree, Fig? I know Fig has just been like all over the screen today. You can see his little tail. Oh, also, I will never get the smell of coffee off of my clothes. Like, this turtleneck, I've washed it dozens of times ever since working at Starbucks. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know this video is kind of all over the place, and it's just my personal experience when working at Starbucks. It's obviously not going to be everyone's experience, and I think the holiday season just kind of got me to reminisce some of the times when I was working there, when I was a college student who I felt like I didn't really have any other way to make money other than in the food industry, because that was something that I've already done previously. I'm really glad that, I had the experience that I did. Starbucks is a good company. There are obviously definitely things that could be improved upon, but overall, I feel like I enjoyed my time at Starbucks. I wouldn't go back, but I enjoyed it. If you guys like this video, please make sure to thumbs up and comment down below, what's your favorite holiday drink? Why not? Let's go for it. Tell me what you guys like down below. Maybe I'll give an opinion because I probably have made it before. Subscribe down below for more interesting content like this, and hope you have a great day. Wishing you the best as always. I'm Cato, rolling on out.